Hey everyone, it's Welcome to Cry here, and this video is not for everyone, right? So far this week we spoke about creating your lead capture page and creating your share page. And if you've done that, if you create a full page on UpViral and a full share page on UpViral as well, meaning you don't have an embedded widget, then you don't need to watch this video, because this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, for everyone who has created a widget campaign, I want to show you how to install that into your website, right? So just to be clear, if you have a full page like this and this, you do not need to watch this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this right here, and I'm also going to delete the share page, and I'm just going to start all the way over. And I'm just going to assume that if you watch this video, you chose an embeddable widget, right? So let's say this widget right here, for now, I'm not going to make any changes. And I'm going back to the campaign. Same for the share page. I'm just going to create a share widget, right? So you would have chosen a embedded widget. I'm going to do that as well. And again, I'm just going to pick a template. Not going to make any changes right now, because again, this is about installing it inside your website. And going back, right? So for now, I'm going to skip the social appearance. I'll do that in a separate video, as well as the other steps right here. I'm just going to skip these for now, because I know that some of you want to have it installed on your website right away. And that's why I'm shooting this video for you guys and girls. And that's where we come to the actual installation flow. Now, this assumes that you already have a website where you want to embed it. So let's say, for example, I'm using ClickFunnels, right? So I could create an opt-in page. Let me just open that URL right here, an opt-in page, where I want people to enter their name and email address, which could be this page right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the URL and paste that here. That is where people will be entering their email address, right, inside on this very page. So every time when someone shares their unique invite link, they're being referred back to that same URL. And just so you know, I'm recording this video because I want people to see how it all works. But if you want to have more detailed step-by-step instructions, we have a lot more instructions right here at support.upviral.com. So that's always the place where we have a lot more video and instructions about using UpViral itself. But I wanted to add this video here in the challenge as well. So once I've added this right here, I can just save. This is optional. We don't need to use that right now. And now I already have enough to actually install the widget, right? So the most basic installation would be an embeddable widget. I'm just going to copy the code. And if I would add this, for example, into this page, let me just edit the ClickFunnels page. This is the most basic version of installing it. So I could just, let's see, how do I use ClickFunnels, a custom JavaScript or HTML. I'm just going to add that in. Oops, where is it? There we go. And just so you know, this is obviously ClickFunnels, but it's the same for any other platform. As long as you can add some HTML, copy paste that in, you should be good to go. So if I would just paste that code right here, then, and I would save it, boom, then on the actual page, what it would look like is this. Right now, I've got the widget embedded into my site. Now, obviously, maybe you want to make sure that it looks better. Maybe you want to change the background color, or maybe you want to, for example, center it. Like if I would center it, as you can see, I need to copy the code again. I would just update that right here. So this is the most basic way of installing a widget. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm only installing one widget, right? I'm just refreshing it so it's actually centered. Why I'm only installing one widget, whereas we actually created a lead capture widget and a share widget. And that is because even though you create a lead capture widget and a share widget right here, the reality is that there's only one widget, right? There's only one widget, but it depends whether we already know who a certain person is. So what I mean with that, if someone loads this page and this widget and UpViral doesn't know who that person is, then it's going to show the lead capture widget. If UpViral already knows who that person is, so let's say I would enter my email address and I would opt in, right? From now on, UpViral knows who that is. Boom, now it's showing the share widget, right? And even if I would now refresh this page, UpViral still knows like, hey, you know, I already know who you are. This is your unique invite link along with the ways to actually share the campaign. And if I would share this with any of my friends, they would go to this page and obviously it would still show this widget right here. Boom, there we go. Because right now it's for a new visitor, a new user, right? And that is the most basic way of installing UpViral into your website, right? So you would have a page with the UpViral widget, and if someone opts in, basically the widget refreshes, but they stay on the same page. That is number one, right? Another option is, if this is a different option, but I want to show you various ways of how you could install it. You could also have, like, for example, the widget on this page where the name and email address is collected, right? And then after someone enters their name and email address, they go to a second page that you have also created if you want to go for more custom, right? And then right there, the share widget will be with the share buttons and all that will be shown. So the way we do that is as following. So I already added the widget right here, which is good. I'm actually going to close this page and I'm going to go to the thank you page, right? Because there's also a thank you page right here, which would be, let me just go to the second step. And again, it doesn't matter which tool you're really using. I'm just using ClickFunnels as an example, right? I'm just going to pick a random template for this. And I'm going to open up the URL. Boom. So this is where the URL is. So what I'm going to do is this URL for this page, I'm going to go back into UpViral and I'm going to add it here. So what this is going to do, like as soon as someone, this is the first URL we already added. If I invite any of my friends, they would go to this page, right? But as soon as I enter my name and email address, instead of just staying on that page, I will now be redirected to a different page. In this case, that's this URL, right? So if I now save this, right, here's what's going to happen. If I would now, let me just refresh this page, enter my name and email address, as you can see, I'm being redirected to this page. Now, obviously, right now this doesn't work yet because on this page, we need to install the widget as well. So I'm just going to edit the page and I'm going to copy all of this over. Right, and I'm going to add in once again an HTML form. Whoops, did I just add it? Nope, I did not. Let me just add it. There we go. And I am going to, boom, save that. So now if I would then go to this page, and I've just updated it, and boom, now here is the UpViral widget. Again, you want to change the coloring and all that so that it looks better. But that's the second way of using UpViral, of adding UpViral into your website. So number one is you just have the widget and the widget changes. Number two is like you have the opt-in widget here, right? And after people enter their name and email address, they're being redirected to a second page where you can have, like maybe you want to add a video here, or maybe you want to add some text here of like why people should be sharing, and then the share widget will be right here. And there's a third way, which I have to give a warning for, that is for advanced users, right? It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. I want to repeat that. And that is to have a, to use, for example, a tool like ClickFunnels, and to use not the UpViral widget, but their custom opt-in form. And then still, after people enter their name and email address, they would be tracked by UpViral and they would go to a page which has the share buttons and all that, right? Now, before I show you this, I just want to show you a version of like, which I would call 2B, which is basically what we have right here, right? But in this case, I'm just go back to the previous page as well as, so perhaps instead of showing the widget, you want to have it like, hey, if they click this button, the opt-in form would show. I actually want to show you that as well. This is what I call version 2B. So I'm going to edit the opt-in page again, and I'm going to edit it right here. So I want to show you a way of, like, let's say I do want to, if I want to make sure that if people click here, then they're going to see the UpViral widget, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to select widget style pop-up, and I'm going to show the pop-up on page load is off. Like if this will be on, then right away if someone loads the page, it will be a pop-up with the UpViral widget. I want to have that off. But now I get this link, right? So what I'm going to do, just going to delete this, delete. And I'm going to go to tracking codes, and I'm going to add a little bit of code to the website, and that is this bottom card, your widget embed code. So I'm going to add that to the header of the page. I'm going to close it down, and then if I have a link somewhere which links to this part, let me just change that. And I want to only get this section. If I would link to that, it would automatically open up the pop-up. So right here, this button, set the action. I'm going to go to a certain URL, and that is boom, that URL, right? So now if I were to save this, and if I were to open this page, it would look like that. And if I would click here, boom, it would show the pop-up. And in this case, it shows the share widget because I've already opted in. If I were to be a new visitor, it would show, hey, enter your name and email address right here, right? So that's a good way of how you can make it good looking if you already have a page set up and you want to have this setup where people click a button first and then they get the opt-in form. This is how you do it. So that is what I call version 2B in a way. We don't really use these numbers, but just to explain the difference, right? Like, so you can use this as a widget as well as a pop-up. Now, I'm going to talk about number 3, which is, like I said, for advanced users, all right? So this is if you want to use not just our opt-in widget, but you want to use the ClickFunnels or any other tool opt-in form. So I'm just going to delete this, right? I'm going to start with a clean slate. And in this case, I want to make sure that this opens up a pop-up, right? And their pop-up, let me just show the pop-up, like the pop-up as the name and email address. So I want to use their custom way of collecting name and email addresses without using the UpViral widget, but I still want UpViral to actually track it. How do I do that, right? That is done using the HTML form advanced. This is way more advanced. This is not for everyone, right? And these options are already done. So this is the URL of your opt-in page, like where people actually enter their name and email address. And then this is the second page of where you will have your widget where people can have an incentive to share, right? Now, step number 3 is that this, every single time someone enters their name and email address into this form, it should be submitted into this HTML form code. Now, how to do that, it depends on your tool. Every tool is different. So if you're not sure how to add an HTML form code into your form, best to reach out to the support of your tool or your website that you are using. For example, if you were to use ClickFunnels, what we can do is integrations, and we're going to add an HTML form to the integration. This is where the email addresses are being submitted after someone actually enters the name and email address. So I'm going to click on Parse and Save Web Form. I'm going to say name and email. We're not collecting that, and that's it. Right now it's actually saved, right? So yeah, sorry, just keep that once. Boom, done. So another thing we need to do is we need to add a tracking code to this page. So add the following code to the header or footer of your lead capture page. So I'm just going to go into settings, tracking code, and I'm going to paste it over here. Boom. The next step, add the following code where you want your share widget to appear. Now that is on this page. In this case, I've already added it before. Otherwise, I will just copy paste this where I want my widget to appear. So I'm just going to save this right now. And if I then preview this page, like it would be the native UpViral, the native ClickFunnels opt-in form. If I were to add my email address right here, I would submit. It would actually be submitted into UpViral. We're able to track it, and we're able to then track how many people opted in and show them their own unique invite link. But again, this last method is definitely for more advanced users. But these are the options that you have. Again, if you like, I very much recommend what I showed you in the very first part, which is number one, just have the widget on your page. Or if you want to have like a second page, do it like that. And then number three, only if there's a good reason for that. But I prefer simplicity. And this is how you install UpViral into your ClickFunnels page, into your own website. Now, again, just to make sure, we've got our support area as well, where we have more instructions. And if you are stuck installing it into your website, please don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. We're happy to help out. And with that having said, I'll talk to you all soon.